We've got a 2004 Yukon. We're getting an engine light, kind of a rough idle. So we're going to put the Wi-Fi OBD2 module in here to see what kind of codes it has. Just plugs right up in there. And then we use our smartphone to check the software. Up the Wi-Fi setting, we're going to use the OBD2 scanner. Click that. And we're going to go to the software. Alright, and we're going to press connect. That'll connect the software to the module to see what the codes are. It's connecting. Press diagnostics. So it says it did connect. So the engine code was from a P0300, which is a cylinder 3 misfire. And that could be caused by a lot of things, but it could be the ignition module that creates the spark. So we're going to switch that out today and see if it improves. Open up the trunk. So we're going to be replacing the spark module, and you want to get a AC Delco or Duralast are good brands. You're going to have to pay about 60-70 bucks for one of these. I wouldn't get the really cheap ones from the Chinese knockoffs, but I would get either AC Delco or Duralast. And I want to go to cylinder number 3. So this is on the driver's side of the car, cylinder number 1, 2, 3. So it'll be really easy to get to. You just need to have a 10mm socket. It'll just take you a couple of minutes. So first thing is lift up on this little tab so you can get the electrical connector off. And then pull down on the boot to get this spark wire off, ignition wire. And we'll take out these two 10mm here. Spin it off, and I'm going to go and kind of wiggle, lift this out. It comes out easy. Here's the old one. Here's the new one. So we'll go ahead and put the bolt through. Feed it in there to the threads of the top one. We'll get that started by hand. Kind of loose. Here's the bottom bolt. Start it just kind of loose by hand. It's a really easy procedure. Just should take you a couple of minutes. And we can spin in using our socket to get in there a little tighter. So it's probably spark module, could be the wire from the module to the plug, or it could be the spark plug. Spark plugs should last a long time. This car though hasn't had a spark plug change for probably 15 years. So it might be due. We're just going to tighten these up a little bit. Okay, and now all we need to do is just push this in until it locks down. You hear it click, and then we're going to make sure this one goes up onto here as far as it'll go. You'll hear a little click also when it's fully seated. As far as up as it'll go. That's great. And you're done. Also going to check on that spark plug on cylinder number 3. We have the 5/8 spark plug socket. So I want to get the boot off the spark plug, and these really help. It's not good to pull by the wire. So if you get this tool, you can grab the boot on the plug, and then you can use your other hand to help too. You kind of pull, it comes off, and then there'll be a metal shroud that goes around the plug. Pull that off, this thing, and you can get your 5/8 socket on there. And make sure I got the setup for loosening. You can you can see the tip of it. So I'll probably put this on first because it's kind of tight in there, and then put on the socket. So I can feel that by hand that it's on there. Now I'll go ahead and put the socket on. Get rid of this extension. So the plug's coming off nice and easy. That's good. Go ahead and get it loosened, and then we'll pull it out. Now we're just loosening it by hand using the extension. It's kind of weird angles though, huh, to get in here. Some cars, spark plugs pretty easy. This car, not too bad, but not super easy. Okay, so for this spark plug, I want to set my gap at 0.040. Put my little feeler gauge in there. And it's a little loose right now, so we're going to use this one to slightly bend it down so it's a little bit more snug. Alright, we're going to get this in position, kind of tilt it at a little bit of an upward angle, feed it in at the same angle as this plug. It's coming in at a, not straight in, but a little bit of an angle. Just going to gently thread it in. We don't want to force it. It should go in easily because you don't want to cross thread. That's where you like push it in. It should just spin on easy by hand. And remember, it's a fairly, spark plug's a fairly long amount of thread, so it might take a few spins before it gets tight. Just keep spinning it by hand, righty-tighty. And then when it won't go any further, you can add your ratchet. The other thing that could cause your P0300 would be just a sticking injector. But this part of the procedure, make sure you got it set to tighten. This part of the procedure is pretty easy to either change the spark module or the spark wire or the spark plug. The injector is not that bad either, but it's a little more involved. They're kind of expensive too. So we're going to get that on there and just get it a little tighter than hand tight. But we don't want to get it super tight. I want to strip it. You got steel threads on your spark plug going into aluminum. So theoretically, if you use gorilla strength, you could damage the threads. Just want to get it a little bit tight. That feels good. Okay, we're going to get the plug out of there. Get the tool off. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the metal shroud back on over the plug. Put the rubber boot back on. It's going to go inside the shroud. And then just push back, wiggle, and you should feel it be very snug when it makes a good connection. I'm using both my thumbs to get that enough inward pressure. So it really wants to sit down on there tight. So push and wiggle, pull back, should be on there nice and tight. Should not pull back easily. Make sure that one's on tight. That's good. So we get that all done. We're going to go and clear the trouble codes now. After pressing menu, press clear trouble codes. We just lost the engine light, went off. So we'll go ahead and put a link in the description below for the sensor and how to get the software, and also for the ignition module, and also for the spark plug. I'd like to announce our new channel membership. By joining, you're going to get some really good perks. Number one, you're going to get live help whenever you need it on your appliance problems, either by text, email, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever you want to get your appliance problem resolved. I'll be able to get you any kind of parts diagrams that you need. I'll get you really good deals on parts. I'll send links to you so you can order them and get them probably by the next day to fix your appliance. And all this is only for $4.99. So that'll save you quite a bit of money. And the whole goal of becoming a member with me is that it's going to give you a chance to save a lot of money on the types of appliance repairs that we all run into on a yearly basis. So thanks so much, and please click on the link in the description below, and that's going to allow you to join our channel today, start working on resolving your appliance problem. So thanks again.